Very good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Dr. Moumita, Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Holdia Institute of Technology. Today I am going to discuss introduction part of the programming in C language. So this is the objectives of my today's lectures. So today I am going to start in which category C belongs to, how we can write down a program in C language, how we can execute, how we can compile, after compilation, what will be the outputs, different types of constant, identifiers, variables, data types. Today I am going to discuss all these things. So main objectives of my today's lecture is that how to understand the structure of the C program, how we can write a C program, how we can include, what is the need of the preprocessor directives to input the C programming language, how we can create the good identifiers for the objects of the program, how we can include different types of data types, how we can include different types of variables and constants in the C language. After that one, what will be the inputs and output concept of this language. Next, how we, after compiling all the header files, constant, variables, statements, what will be the outputs. This is the objectives of my today's lecture. So before starting of my C language, so this is the background of the C. C is the programming language that belongs to the high level language because it allows the programmers to concentrate on the problem at hand, and there will be some machine that program will be using there. And another way, what is the need of the C language, it will be used by the different types of software developers whose application have to run on different types of hardware platform. So this is the time to how we can write down the C program. There will be some topics I am going to discuss in my next slide. Structure of the C program, your first program, that means how we can write down the one statement, what will be the comments, what is the greeting programs. So that is the syntax structure of the C programming language. First one, you have to include the preprocessor directives. There is the mainly two header files are there, has include stdio.h, standard input output.h, and has include conio.h, console input output.h. These are the preprocessor directives. This is only the header files. These header files will be connected with the compiler. Whatever you want to execute in your program, these programs will be connected with the compiler through the preprocessor directives for compilation and the execution. Next, we have to be declared some variables as a global. Next, int main. Int main is the inbuilt library function. That means before, if you are declaring some variables before the int main, that is the global variables, because large area, in the large area or out of the scope, it can be applicable. After the main function, we can declare some variables, that is the locally. Its accessible is very limited. Next, which statement we want to execute, that you have to write down, then we can exit in your program using the return 0. If you are writing the main function void main, then program will be exited by the get ch. If you are using the inbuilt library function int main, we have to be return something, that is the return 0. So that is the function, other function will be required according to your assignment. We can include another function. That is the basic structure of the C programming language. So here that is the example. Pseudocode of this program has include stdio.h. So that is the preprocessor directives that include the standard input output functions in the program. Next, int main, that is the inbuilt library function. Then within this bracket, suppose you want to print your name or institute name or whatever, that will be written within the printf. That is the printf is the output statement. Whatever you want to print it, that you have to write down within the printf. Printf, then to start the bracket. There is some syntax. That is the bracket, start the bracket, first bracket within the double quotation, whatever you want to print, that you have to write down. Here backslash means that for the, if you use the another statement and using the another printf, suppose HID, then backslash means hello world and HID will be printed in the next line. Then here you have been used the int main, that's why return 0, that means in program will be ended by this syntax. So that is the main basic program of the C programming language. So there will be some greetings program. So greeting program, that means it demonstrates some of the comments of the sample C program by writing your name here and date also be there. So local variables and statement will be there. That is the greeting codes. That is the greeting programs of your program. So there will be some comment section also be there. By 2 lines we can comment. We can cover our comment slash asterisk symbol, and it will be ended by the asterisk, then the close. So that means if you write down these things within the comment section, that will be the out of scope of the program, that are not included in your C program. That is the comment. that you have to write on slash asterisk, whatever you want you have written, that will be ended by the asterisk and the slash in the comment section, or we can say that block comments also. If you write in a equal to 5 only included in your program, other parts will be the out of scope of your program. So next, C types, mainly 4 types of different data types are there: void, integral, floating point, and derive. It means void means it is written in null. Integral, the size of the integer is 4 bytes, so 2 bytes. That is depending on the size of the compiler. Floating is the 4 bytes in this way. There is again 3 types of the integrals are there: Boolean, character, and integer. And the floating point, imaginary, real, and the complex. So that is the nested block comments are invalid. These are the invalids in the C language. So next one is the identifier. So identifier on the computer languages we are using the identifier. So identifier allow us to name data and the other objects in the program. So here each identifier objects will be applicable in the computer that can store at a unique address. Just like that, there are some rules for the identifier. Identifier cannot be duplicated keyword. The first 63 characters will be identified by the significant way, and it can consist of alphabetic characters and the digits or the underscore, and there will be first character must be alphabetic character or the underscore. Just like examples, C is the very case sensitive, just like in this way we can find it out. So here an identifier must start with a letter or the underscore, and it may not have a space or a hyphen. There are some characteristics of the identifier. So they are giving some valid name and the invalid name. Valid name is the A. If you write and declare the variable A, that is the valid. If you write in the dollar of number, that is the invalid. If you write the student underscore name, it's valid. But if you write the two names, that is invalid. If you write the underscore boolean, it's valid. But if you write the stdnt space number, it's invalid, because stdnt and number should be one word or there will be some underscore. Then compiler we can identify that is the only one variable name. So the next one is the types. So different types of set of values or set of operation that can be applied on the values. So void type, integral type, and the floating point type. Void means it is returning null. Integral it returns the 4 bytes. Float is the 4 bytes and it is the 2 bytes. Different data types are there. Floating point, there are 3 types of floating points are there: real, imaginary, and complex. And the integral, that is the character, integer, and the boolean, derive, and the void. These are different types of C types and data types are there. There is the characters, and character types are 2 types of characters are there. And integer is the short, int, long, int, like this. So there is some relationship or size of this sound: short, int, long, and long. Data types are there. Size of short less than equal to size of int, less than equal to size of long, and less than equal to size of long. So size of the long in data type is the highest than the others data type. So there is some types. It also carries some minimum value and the maximum value. If you mention the type is the integer, so byte size is the 4 bytes, and its minimum values will be -2,000 to 147,482, positive, maximum value 2 positive. And short in size is the 2, but maximum value is the 32,767, and minimum value will be negative 32,768. So next difference of floating data point is the float type, double type, and the long double type. So there are also some relationship between float double and the long double. Size of the long double is the highest, then the double, and the float. Size of is the it can calculate the length of the data type. That may be float, that may be double, that may be long double. So next the different types of type. Void is the type is the void, simply void. If in the integral, that is the boolean. C implementation, when you are using the data type boolean, that is the bool. Character, you are writing char. Integer, that is the can only using int. Float for the in the data type, when you are using the floating, that is the in C, you are writing float. Or complex as a float, complex as a double complex, or a long double complex. In this way we can use these types of data types. Next, variables. Variables means it can vary some values. Suppose you are declaring int A, it carries the 2 bytes, but if you declare the 4A, that is the 4 bytes. So variable names are memory location that have a type such as integer or character which is inherited from their type. So the type determines the values that a variable may contain and the operation that may be used with its values. So there are the 2 topics I am going to discuss: how we can declare a variable, how we can initialize a variable. So that is the variable code. Code is the variable name. So type is the cat. Here next line I is the variable, type is the int. So just like it can return some values also. So variables, and here we declare. So here we will declare the fact is the variable, bool type is the bool. If you write the text is the variable, type is the w. So that is the declaring. And next one is the initialization. So here 14, int of I equal to 14. So I is the variable, which type is the integer. Here we are initializing the values, that is the 14. And pi, w pi, double pi is the variable, it carries the values 3.14, that is the we are initializing. So that is the difference between, that is the here we are declaring the variables, but here we are initializing the some values of the variables. So when a variable is defined, it is not initialized, but when you must initialize any variable requiring prescribed data when the function starts. So there is a one sample program how we can add some 3 numbers. So at first you just include the header file, then start with the inbuilt library function in main, then declare the local variables. Here we are taking the 3 inputs A, B, C, all at the same time. We can declare by using the comma hyphen in the one single sentence, in the single statement. So just enter the take the values of A, B, C. Printf, suppose the print welcome this program will 3 numbers. This is the output statement, or after executing your program, this statement will be printed on your screen. Next, scanf is the input statement. Using that scanf statement, we can take the values of A, B, C. There is some specific specification of that scanf statement. Scanf, then start the bracket within the double quotation, write down the format specification. A, B, C are the integer type, format specification will be %d. If A, B, C are taking the float, then format specification will be %a. Then close the double quotation, comma, ampersand of A, comma, ampersand of B, and ampersand of C. So here using the comma operator, we can combine more than one statements or variables. So ampersand A means without the ampersand symbol, any value of the A cannot be read by the user or the programmers. Then we are after adding the values of A, B, C, all the results will be stored on the another variable sum. Then sum will be printed there. Then we can exit in your entire program. So that is the result. Welcome this program as you have written the one statement. Then in the next printf statement you have written 3 numbers, enter the 3 numbers. Then A, B, C, we are taking the values of A, B, C, that is 11, 22, 33. Then total sum has been added as a sum. Then after it stored that one, entire result will be stored there. So in this way we can print the sum of 3 numbers here. Next one is the constant. Constant means as a variable it varies some values. While constant means it's the fixed. So A equal to 2, always values of A will be 2. So constants are the data values that cannot be changed during the execution of your program. Like the variables, constant have a type. In this section we are going to discuss the different types of constant, real, integer, complex, string constant, like this. So how we can represent a constant and how we can code a constant. So character constant is enclosed in the single quotes. So just like ASCII characters are there, it is symbolic value. Null character means symbolic name will be backslash within the single quotation G. Alert or bell, backslash within the single quotation, also within single quotation A. Backspace, backslash B. Tab, backslash T. New line for backslash N. Vertical tab for backslash B. A V. Just like that, backslash, double backslash, like this. Double spot within the single quotation within the slash. That's like symbolic names of the control characters. So either there will be some type, it also carries some values, and how we represent it. Integer type, values is the 123, how we can represent class 123. And type is the long int, values are the minus 32,271, but how we represent minus 3227 only. So in this way we can represent some constant as integer type. So similar way double, that means 0.0, float minus 2, but we can represent minus 2.0 from f. So like this we can represent some real constant also. So null, backslash n. In this way we can represent some string also. Within the how we can represent string within the double quotation, you can write my name is Moumita, Dr. Moumita Das. That is the entire string. String is the array of characters, and characters will be ended by the null character, backslash n. So null character, that is the within the double single quotation backslash 0, that is the null. If you write within double quotation, if there is no anything is there, that is the empty string. The string is empty. So here we can use the single quotes for the character constants, and we can use the double quotes for the string constant. So memory constants also be there, just like we are defining the pi value 3.14 PVT. This has defined pi value has been included within the header files. The main function, the local variable statements will be executed, and it will be ended by this one. So that is the memory constants are there. So value of pi is always 3.14. So up to this we have been discussed So lot of the constant variables, data types, identifier, basic concept of the C language. Okay, one more thing is that C was invented by the Dennis Ritchie. So in a C, we are executing the lot of programs. So program is the finite set of instructions. So for today I am going to stop my video lectures, and if there is any doubt, then I am going to discuss these topics in my next video. Thank you.